Hello and welcome, I'm Chris and this is the Hair Tutorial channel, and on this channel I'm going to be showing you the latest trend, the squid cut. Yes, it's the haircut from the Squid Games that's blowing up absolutely everywhere. And I'll do a step-by-step tutorial on how you get this haircut. So, let's get to it. Okay, so the most important part of this whole haircut is your length. Your length is what is going to determine the look of this cut. Now ideally this works from the hairline down to just above shoulders, but that middle ground in the middle of the neck is sort of the perfect length for this haircut. So the first thing I've done obviously is I've cut in my baseline. I've then sectioned the back from the front, and we're going to start by working on this back section. Now I'm taking quite large sections here, obviously to get through it a little bit quicker, but always take a size of section that's comfortable for you. So we've got to put our guide in and determine the whole haircut from this one point. We're actually going to start by coming in at the bottom. We're going to pull this bottom section out first, and we're going to find the perimeter of our haircut. Now, and I'm keeping my fingers at 90 degrees. I'm going to cut down to meet that perimeter. So you see on this one section, I'm working up, keeping my fingers and the hair at 90 degrees. And that's going to be our guide. Everything is now going to work off of this section. Okay, so what we have now is we have our central guide that we've just cut. We have an orange segment, which is our first section. Then another orange segment, which is our second section. And then another orange segment, which is our third section. And what we're going to be doing here is we're going to be over directing our first section back to the middle and following the guide we just cut. Then we're going to half that, and we're going to take our second section and bring it back to where our first section is. Then we're going to half that, and then we're going to cut our third section and over direct it back to where our second section is. So what we're doing is we're gradually building a small amount of weight. So by the time we get to the front where there is less hair, we'll have a little bit more wiggle room, a little bit more hair to play with. And I know I've taken very large sections, but that's just for the purpose of this video. The principle would be exactly the same if you had 20 sections there. You just over direct it back to your previous section. So now you can see why it's so important we're cutting this square. If we were to elevate the section and hold the section up here horizontally, more like a layer, they end up looking more like a long layer, a shag cut, a wolf cut. That's not what this haircut is. So now we've done both sides, it's on to the front. Now as we come through this front area, again, we don't want to lose too much of our length. So if you had very thick hair, what I suggest is that you could carry on over directing back to your previous section just like we did at the back. However, if the hair is medium to fine, we're now actually going to direct everything in front of the ear all the way back to behind the ear. And again, this is going to give us a little bit more weight left here so it doesn't start looking too fine and stringy. So here's the point we used as the pivot point at the back of the haircut. And our last cut was just behind the ear. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take forward diagonal sections from that crown and we're going to over direct this section back to behind the ear. But remember, we're still pulling the hair and our fingers to 90 degrees. Find your guide from the back and just follow it straight down. So what you can see is by doing that, we've kept the hair here. We haven't got a chunk or a piece missing. So once again, forward diagonal section, over direct it all to back behind the ear. To find your guide and just follow it square. Final one. So this is going to leave us lots. It's going to leave us plenty to play with. When we come round that front and we do our face shaping. Obviously exactly the same now on the other side. You can see we've got hair, we've got nothing missing, we've got the weight nice and low because we've kept square, we haven't brought it up into a layer, and we've got all this lovely movement and texture to play with down here. So here it is, all dried off, little bit of salt spray, scrunched dried in, partly with the diffuser, partly with my hands. Here's a close-up. Now, if you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification button, and check out some more videos coming up.